Yeah.
You're all very warmly welcome to IDEG and to the fourth in our series of webinars. Today we'll be exploring a topic that I believe is very close to the hearts of each and every one of us here, especially those represented around the table. We have representatives of women here, the youth. We're expecting representatives from, in fact, we have the youth. Yeah, we are expecting representatives from the Ghana Federation of the Disabled. We have a representative of our traditional authorities, all here to pose their questions and the issues of concern to their constituencies to our political parties represented here, based upon their manifesto pledges and promises. We're really happy that all of you here were able to join us. We also have several others joining us online, and at certain points in time, to moderate this morning's discussion, which is in the form of a roundtable, is no other than our own Mr. Kwesi Jonah. He's no stranger to forums like this one and to the issues that we're going to be discussing. Mr. Kwesi Jonah is a senior research fellow with IDEG. He's been here with IDEG for more than 10 years, if I am not mistaken. And he's in charge of our advocacy and institutional relations program. In a previous life, he headed the political science department at the University of Ghana. He has headed many other such departments. And so I welcome him, Mr. Jonah, to guide us through this roundtable. And I warmly welcome every one of you here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. A.C. Say. Even though you have been formally welcomed by Dr. A.C. Say, let me add my voice to that welcome. I am particularly pleased to see very, very busy people who Obi Amo, for example. I expected that he will be campaigning with my good friend. He was in the Western North, right? Western North, when the station reached him on the campaign trail, and he had to come. And my friend, Mr. Odrokwati, we have not been able to meet for such a long time, but today's function has brought us together. We have also Nana Apente. Nana is a very busy traditional ruler, but everybody knows him as a media person. And all of us read his column in the Mirror. Very busy person, but when I suggested to him to come and help us with this morning's function, he very willingly agreed. So are all the other people. So I am very, very all of you at today's event. Now, the important governance, local government. For me, anytime I go to my village in the Western region, it is the kind of services being provided by the local government there, the assembly there, that matters to me. Because my relatives, my family members, they do not live in Accra. That is where they live. And it is the local government there that will be delivering services to them. So I would say that this is the most important level of government. It is closer to the people than the central government in Accra. It is the level that must deliver the services that the people very, very. So,
changed and non-entrained provisions of the Constitution were followed, and those which were supposed to be gazetted for 6 months, as far as the entrained provisions are concerned, and the ones 3 months apart were all gazetted, submitted to the Council of State, then sent to Parliament for approval. We passed through a committee stage. We got to a point, especially for the provision, Article 55(3), which required a referendum. The bill had to be withdrawn under the direction of the President in Parliament. The President cited the lack of broad national consensus among key stakeholders, a section of the populace, on a matter as important as the amendment of an entrained provision of the Constitution. So that's how far we went as far as the election of MMDCs was concerned. I remember I was part of the team which met various stakeholders, House of Chiefs, the clergy, Muslim Council, the media, TUC, and all these groups agreed that we needed to move forward as far as the election of MDCs were concerned, but we needed to do further consultation. We have moved on. We have strengthened the substructures of MMDAs through capacity building and adequate resource allocation. As we speak, we are enacting a municipal finance bill. As we speak, we made efforts to strengthen the role of traditional authorities with the local government system. And as we speak, we have decentralized, or we are in collaboration with GIZ, decentralizing and equipping Land Valuation Board to provide direct technical support on property evaluation. We have made achievements in this direction. And I have to mention that we've implemented a 3% increase in DF disbursement to persons with disability, which was announced in 2012, but which remained unimplemented until we came into office. We can't go on and on about our achievements, but I would then move to what we plan to do moving forward. In total, only 5 minutes to be able to put this across.
What we've come up with regards to our meeting and then going around the country, having discussions with various groups, various stakeholders, and other interest groups. And then as a practitioner myself, I've been a unit committee member. I've been an elected assembly member up to this level. Ghana is committed And in fact, we are mandated under the 1992 Constitution, as my boss just said, to practice the centralized local governance system. And the mainstay is to give power to the people at the grassroots to determine their dreams and aspirations as far as development, local development is concerned. Again, as far as local governance is concerned, there are three key components. First and foremost is participation. Decentralization is all about participation of the people as far as their development is concerned. Secondly, it's about inclusiveness. And thirdly, as your concept talks about, it's about accountability. So our mainstay for the 2020 manifesto, or the People's Manifesto, is to ensure that we practice a system of decentralization and local governance that will inure to these three key pillars. It's unfortunate. We've practiced this system of local governance for almost 30 years now. It has spanned through government, about 3, 4, 5 government leadership of governance. But I can say without fear or any reservation that these three key elements that should have held our decentralization and local governance system is very, very weak. That one, every practitioner will admit. So if we hear the chiefs crying, the chief may have the right as a citizen and say, what we in the NDC are saying is that, yes, we can leave the partisan, the volatile partisan. Yes, it's volatile. Okay, so we can move on to another person. Yeah. Oh yes. Even registration people are shooting.
Well, thank you so much for the questions. Indeed, I must say that for most of the issues that you've raised, we are tackling them. Some at the policy level, some which we want to elevate by enacting laws, and some that would come as guiding principles. For instance, if you take gender, somehow we are fortunate enough to have a female minister for local government who used to be the minister for gender. And every opportunity to make appointments, her guiding principle is that there should be the balance. There's no way that in consultation for appointees to, let's say, the assembly. The appointing authority, which of course is the president, with the traditional authorities also playing a role, there's no way a list will come out without the gender factor in it. But as I said, that is at the policy level.
Please, without the people here also participating, it will not be complete. So we are going to give you the opportunity to ask your questions. Nana?
Yeah. I just want to say something that my comrade Nana raised issue about chiefs or traditional authorities. He had a scenario that basically, conceptualized the involvement of chiefs who are unelected. And how do you resolve the conflict between traditional and strategic boundary? But let's deal with the issue about this idea that chiefs are unelected, so somehow involving them in the democratic process is an anachronistic arrangement. I think it need to be debunked. We all know how multi-party politics is monetized. If we, people who criticize, as a socialist, as a Marxist, I never thought I would be part of a traditional authority position. Something that if you are not, your blood does not flow into a certain particular royal line, you cannot be elected a chief. So for us, it's undemocratic. But let's subject to our multi-party democracy. We don't even have politics in Ghana anymore. It's monetics. Is it better than the way we select our traditional authorities? Where we want to push that angle. The youth are critical. If you look in terms of joblessness, unemployment level of the youth in this country, what does the current metropolitan municipal and district assembly offer? The two parties, ladies and gentlemen, NDC, MPP, for 28 years, they are toying with our lives. It's about time you kick them out to bring us into power. We have done it before. And we are saying that, look, they have all these things, wonderful ideas. The ideas they want to do, the NDC have brilliant ideas. Some of the things that you are talking about, I was chief director and we were doing it on the NDC, here and there. But it hasn't taken anywhere. There's a disconnect in terms, there's a policy, the policy of credibility. There's a credibility gap in terms of what the policies of the NDC and MPP is and what actually happens on the ground. And the CPP government, we want to look at that. I am answering the question by the issue of accountability. Current DCs appointed by the president and the fiscal decentralization and so on and so forth, and the partisan system to support the partisan system. The reality is this, that if we are going to have elections of assembly members and DCSA on the basis of multipartyism, it will be a repeat of people. A party like the CPP will never get in. But also we need to take cognizance of the fact that the NDC and NPP, they are just having a laugh. We know that the current assembly members, they sponsor them. Although legally they can do, they sponsor them.
But why don't you sponsor them?
Yeah, but you say, where are you pretending? You are sponsoring assembly members who, because of the law, you can openly, if you go to assembly members, you see NDC people there, you see MP people there. So who are we deceiving? The CPP position is this, that given what we see, monetization of multi-party system at the national level, if we take it down to the sub-national level, we will never come to power because we will never have money. So we want to make sure that we need to be able to have election of MMDCs on the basis of non-partisan way, which is the way to go. Of course, you are right. The NDC were supporting multipartyism and something, maybe they had a brainwave and decided to pull out. The CPP position is that, and I want to tell you this, that we want to maintain the non-partisanship at the sub-national level to support the multipartyism. There's nothing wrong with that, but the most important thing is that people are elected by their own people. What is based in multipartyism is another part. Our multipartyism in terms of governance is not working because everything is seen from the spectacle of a political lenses. And that is the debate of it. And in fact, it is only here, IDEC, we thank you very much for recognizing that the CPP is alive and that we are here. Nobody recognizes us. But we brought Ghana. We made Ghana what it is. And we are alive and kicking. A CPP government will try and address the issue about the issue that has been raised. And maybe I had the opportunity to come up again.
It should have been a presidential.
Okay, thank you very much, Nana. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to the people who are here. And there are a few people also maybe online who ask questions. So the time has come for the rest of us to make our contribution.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prof. My name is Justice Remsai. I'm a lecturer at IMPA. And I'm representing the institution. But this question does not necessarily represent the views of the institution. Yeah. I spotted a little misunderstanding in some of the explanations that were given, especially the pushbacks to the proposal that we do not need a partisan local government, election system. And the pushback was that it is already being sponsored by political parties, and even the members who contest these elections are already members of the political party, so it's a hypocrisy. But that argument is a little bit flawed in the sense that
these monies were released to the assemblies. So even 2016, the assessment was never done. Because somebody has done assessment for 2030, you didn't pay, 2040, you didn't pay, 2015, you didn't pay. So all these things, nice things that we are talking about, it's about commitment. If you raise it to 100%, or let's give assemblies 100%, you say it. It is in the manifesto. Very nice. But if at the end of the day, you collect the money from the people as a statutory funding to the assemblies, you refuse to pay. So it is not about how much you raise it. It is about, as we speak, I must commend government for this bold initiative. For the first time, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter of this assembly's common fund have been released to the assemblies. It led to the fourth quarter. And the fourth quarter, government has not done anything wrong because the fourth quarter is supposed to be paid in first quarter 2021. So all these things, very nice, is about commitment. But I will urge all of us, let's get the document that the deputy minister was using. Let us all, those of us who matter in local governance, get a copy of that document and read. All those of us who matter as well as local governance is concerned, our inputs are there. My brother who called from Lognet, his input is there. IDEC, you are there. Wherever we have met, all I think Doc Awoke is also aware. So when we have this document and we are committed to implement the policy, we will get somewhere. But we can have a nice document, and if we don't have the commitment to implement it, we will get nowhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Ibrahim. I'm here on behalf of the Youth Page Foundation. My question is for NDC and then CP. So over the years, our assembly elections, we've realized that there are low turnouts when it comes to assembly elections. Some of the arguments has been the case that because it is not partisan, people do not really get the chance to get enough information about what is ongoing, and that they don't even turn out to vote. My question is, and then at the end of the day, there was a presentation that most of the assemblymen are within the youth bracket. My question is, you are pushing for non-partisan election of MMDs at the local level. What are your plans to ensure that there is massive turnout when we're actually voting? Because one of the arguments is that at the national level, because it's highly partisan, if you don't hear about the election date from NDC, you hear from MPP.
There's room for employment of some of these persons at the local level so that they will even assist in the registration of births and deaths. And then once they are remunerated, then they can also be more effective in carrying out assembly duties.
Thank you. I have 1 minute. But let me say this, that we are here today talking about how to strengthen representation, participation, accountability. We of the Convention People's Party believe that the MPP and the NDC have failed us abysmally. And then the time has come, we want the whole country to know, the time has come that we need to kick them out and bring in our Republic Ministries, our government.
In the city, my vote is more important than if you live in the village. I think we need to be careful. We are going for election of DCs, but it should be 100%. If you live in the city,
let's look into that. Yeah. Secondly, I think conceptualizing the place of chiefs or chieftaincy in the local government process is very important. It should not just be a historically determined process because it has been there, but that it is there for a reason. And going forward, how do we make it more effective? I think it's important for all of us.
Youthbridge.
Okay, for Youthbridge, I would like to urge the political parties that in order for us to have strengthened democracy and then also have accountability, we need not to cluster, especially the marginalized groupings that we have in some of the policies they give us. We need to understand the scope of these marginalized groupings that we mentioned. So for instance, we need not to mention the youth as a homogeneous group. We need to understand the different issues and the different spaces that youth represent in the policies that you want to bring so that you can give a better solution to the issues of the youth. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our online participants, one of them, Women's Hope Foundation, would like the political parties to be thinking very seriously on how they are going to improve the participation and inclusion of women based on their manifestos. Please, this is very important. The Women's Hope Foundation wants all political parties to be seriously thinking about how they are going to improve the participation and inclusion of women based on their manifesto. So as we leave this place, we should be thinking about this question. Now, our time is up. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think the time has come for us to bring this session to an end. But let me say that we have very much enjoyed the contribution of not only our speakers, but also of our friends from the various groups who have posed the questions. And questions, very important questions that have come from the floor. We cannot exhaust this subject. We cannot exhaust this subject, even though I consider local government to be very important. Without local government, no services will be delivered to our people. But let us continue the debate, even as we leave this room, because elections are only a few days away, just about 3 weeks and some days away. Let us continue to discuss this subject and bear in mind that without improving local government, you will fail woefully in delivering services to our people. At this stage, I will call upon somebody who's going to vote of thanks. Okay, so please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Institute for Democratic Governance, I want to thank very sincerely our speakers, the representatives from the various groups who have added to this, all of you who were able to make it. I do not also want to forget those who joined us online. Your contributions, especially the Women's Hope Foundation, have been very, very valuable. Please, we may be able to lay on another webinar like this, and when the time I invite you, please make sure, possibly as you have done today. I want to thank you so much. The media, please, your services are always appreciated. Thank you very much. Now, any announcements? I think.
Thank you very much for coming. Please, we'll be shooting videos, peace messages, where you can speak in English or in other local languages to kind of encourage an atmosphere of peace towards the elections, which will be put on our social media on IDEC Ghana. And we hope that we can be able to tag you and you share it and you get people to also join in the conversation, since because of COVID, social media is one of the primary means to engage. Thank you very much for coming.
Good. You want to say something? Okay, so lunch is ready, but please, those who want to give us peace messages, representatives of local parties, we want peace messages from you. Where's the lunch? Please, don't go. Lunch, the lunch is ready. It's outside. Please, lunch is ready and it's just outside. You just pick a pack. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you very much.
We have a destiny, so come together to build in harmony. Ghana first for peace. A common destiny, so come together to build in harmony. Ghana first for peace. Yeah, was my woman Ghana, for my young to know your man Ghana. Unite for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. Hey, you gotta vote to change your mother Ghana. You gotta work to build a mother Ghana. Yeah, was my woman Ghana. For my young to do your man Ghana. Mialo, Mia Daniba, so that's Ghana. Yeah, was my woman Ghana. For my young to do your man Ghana. Mialo. You know, like say, it be like say, we for come together. I know they say, we for fight one another. We have a destiny to come together to build harmony. Love Ghana, but Ghana first for peace. Yeah, come on, destiny to come together to build harmony. Yeah, first for peace. Yeah, I was my woman Ghana. My end to know your man Ghana. Mialo, Mia Daniba Ghana. So my woman Ghana. My end to know your man Ghana. Mialo, Mia Daniba Ghana. I was my woman Ghana. My end to know your man Ghana. Mialo, Mia Daniba Ghana. Yeah, I was my woman Ghana. My end to know your man Ghana. Peace and love for Ghana. Peace and love for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. Hey, you gotta vote to change your mother Ghana. You gotta work to build a mother Ghana. God bless our homeland, development for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. Peace and love for Ghana. Peace and love for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. Yeah. We gotta vote to change the mother Ghana. We gotta work to build another Ghana. God bless our homeland, development for Ghana. Yeah. We must unite for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. Gotta use the power. We gotta put Ghana first. Oh, exercise the power. We be one nation, we gotta live along as one people. We be one family, no matter your religion or where you came from. We have a destiny, so come together to build in harmony. Love Ghana, put Ghana first for peace. Come on, destiny, so come together to build in harmony. Love Ghana, put Ghana first for peace. Yeah, I was my woman Ghana, woman yen to do your man Ghana. Unite for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. Hey. You gotta vote to change a mother Ghana. You gotta work to build a mother Ghana. Yeah, I was my woman Ghana. Woman yen to do your man Ghana. Mielo, mia daniba. So that's Ghana. Yeah, I was my woman Ghana. Woman yen to do your man Ghana. Mielo. You know, like say, it be like say, wait for come together. I know they say, wait for fight one another. We have a destiny to come together to build harmony. Love Ghana, put Ghana first for peace. Yeah, come on, destiny to come together to build harmony. Yeah, Love Ghana, first for peace. Yeah, I was my woman Ghana. My yen to do your man Ghana. Mielo, mia daniba Ghana. So my house, woman Ghana. My yen to do your man Ghana. Mielo, mia daniba Ghana. Get to do house, my woman Ghana. My yen to do your man Ghana. Mielo, mia daniba Ghana. Yeah, house, my woman Ghana. My yen to do your man Ghana. Peace and love for Ghana. Peace and love for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. Hey, you gotta vote to change a mother Ghana. You gotta work to build a mother Ghana. God bless our homeland, development for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. Peace and love for Ghana. Peace and love for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. We must unite for Ghana. Yeah. We gotta vote to change another Ghana. Vote. We gotta work to build another Ghana. God bless our homeland. Development for Ghana. Yeah. We must unite for Ghana. You must unite for Ghana. Gotta use the power. We gotta put Ghana first. Oh, exercise the power.